So, just finishing up work for the day, and I'm headed off to a doctor's appointment unrelated to the new hardware in my hip or the injury in my knee or back. This is to hopefully fix an issue that I've been having with my nose. Basically for as long as I can remember, I have only breathed through one nostril. And only up until recently did I realize how much of an effect it was having on me, mainly in my sleep. And I've found that with mouth taping and forcing myself to breathe through my nose, my sleep is a lot better. But when I run or do any sort of physical activity, I can tell that my oxygen flow is restricted, and I want to get better at nose breathing. So hopefully in this appointment they can tell me what's going on, but I'm going to see a nose doctor who is going to help fix me up. It would be really cool if it made an improvement in my sleep, because I know without the mouth tape I just breathe through my mouth all night long. And I definitely had better sleep when I was using a nose strip as well, but I just hate the idea of having so many different things that I'm throwing away every single morning. And so my solution for the mouth tape, because I didn't want to buy those packets of like Hostage tape or any of these brands, because a lot of them are like $2 a day, which I just think is totally ridiculous. And it's the same thing for those Breathe Right strips. They're just expensive. So I bought some off-brand KT tape from CVS. It was like 15 bucks, and I cut my own strips. I've only done 2 of the strips so far, but it's several months worth in the whole roll. So that's my little hack there. Yesterday's run was great. I'm gonna run tomorrow. It's gonna be Wednesday and Friday as well. My plan right now is to just hit that first week of 9 miles of actually running the full 5K. And then what I need to start doing is looking for a Couch to 5K program. And I know Garmin has one. I need to look over it and just make sure that that is gonna fit where I'm at fitness-wise. And the other concern too is just sprinting. I know I should do speed work or interval training or things like that, but I haven't really tested how fast I can run or how the hip and knee feel at a quicker pace. And so that's something that I need to figure out this week as well. I think it'll be fine because I've been doing a lot of jumping drills and sort of faster movement, but I want to do sort of a controlled test and make sure that I'm not going to injure myself before I just jump right back into doing running workouts. So that's the game plan for today. After my doctor's appointment, I am headed off to the gym to do some legs. And really, my leg program is a compound movement. I'll squat. I've been doing some more like balancing type movements, some stuff from the knees over toes guy, mainly, single leg slant board squats, and just trying to increase my range of motion. That exercise has been the number one thing for my knee rehabilitation, I think. At least to me, that's the thing that I've noticed the main difference with. Every morning when I do my walk, I go down a hill, and the first couple of months of getting back to walking, going down that hill is where I felt the most stress in my knee. And the slant board squat has allowed me to really progress into that movement to where now walking down the hill feels completely comfortable, and I feel strong throughout the entire movement. So I've been doing that basically throughout my entire rehab program, and I've slowly added some weight to it. I'll also do some RDLs, and I'll do some split squats as well, some Bulgarian split squats, mainly just to try to target my glutes, and that's where I'm feeling the most weak right now, is glutes and hamstrings. The quads have never really been a problem. I'm a lot more quad dominant than hamstring dominant. So that's usually what the workout looks like. Those are the 4 staples: squat, slant board, single leg squat, the RDL, and then the Bulgarian split squat. And usually what I'll do once once all that is completed and once my legs are nice and fatigued, is add in some plyometrics. I'll do some jumps, and usually I just mix it up to whatever I'm feeling that day. But the idea is to feel explosive and like I can balance when I'm landing. You know, I want to retrain that part of my body as I get back into doing things like trail running and long-term getting back into skiing. So that's what the workout will look like today. I will potentially take some video of what's going on in the gym, although taking a camera into the gym feels weird, and I'm a little bit like shy about that, I guess. I don't want to be that guy, but at the same time, I really do want to record my workouts. So, turns out I have a deviated septum. And what the doctor has recommended to me now is that I go on Flonase for a couple of months and just see if that fixes it. So that's the game plan right now. If not, potentially surgery long-term is the best option, but it definitely sounds like through some sort of alternative intervention, I can get some airflow back into my right nostril, which would be super awesome because I basically just don't breathe through it right now. So fingers crossed, gonna go get some Flonase and we'll give it a shot for the next couple of months. Hope something works. Okay, so I'm gonna do my best to walk through this workout that I did today. I did end up recording some video, and it was a little bit awkward setting up the camera, but ultimately I'm happy I did it. So first part of the workout here was barbell squats. Started with the bar, just warming up, trying to get the hips moving. I ended up doing 3 sets of 5, moving up in weight from 155 to 175 to a top set of 200. The next exercise is, like I said earlier, the single leg slant board squats. I'm doing it here with 10 pounds, and usually what I do is just 3 sets of 10 on each leg. The setup here looks a little bit sketchy, but it actually feels pretty stable. The first set that I do normally is unweighted, just to make sure that I'm fully warmed up since I am coming back from an injury. But the next 2 sets usually I'll do with weight. So right now I'm just doing 10 pounds, and the goal is to try to get deeper and deeper into the single leg squat here. The next exercise that I'm doing is an RDL, and I'm again just doing this with 10 pounds here. A lot of the weight that I'm using is pretty low because I am still recovering from my surgery in January where they reassembled my hip. So a lot of the muscles are still feeling pretty weak, and the 10 pounds still feels pretty freaking hard to me. So just working on form, making sure everything looks good, and really trying to feel this through the glutes. The last weighted exercise here is going to be these Bulgarian split squats. These are something that I haven't really done in the past, but because of the nature of my injury, trying to target the glutes specifically, I think is going to be really beneficial. Just for getting back to things like skiing and trail running. And these things kick my ass. So I'm doing it here with 35 pounds, and I've been working my way up. This felt pretty good compared to previous sets, so I think next time I'm going to do 40 pounds. This jumping exercise that I'm trying here is something I probably saw on Instagram. I did light up my glutes, which ultimately is the goal. And this is part of trying to get a little bit more explosive and just make sure that I'm going to be ready for, doing sprinting workouts or just moving fast. The workout philosophy that I have been following is just a basic program called 5-3-1ing. And the idea and the reason why I chose to go with it is that you basically just progressively overload for eternity. It was the simplest program that I could find that would just allow me to do the same compound movements week after week after week, built-in deload, and just continue to try to get stronger and continue to try to condition for these other activities that I'm doing. I'm not super concerned with, putting mass on my body at this point. If anything, I'm trying to lose some weight. So I'm currently in a caloric deficit. But the idea behind the 5-3-1ing is to condition for activities. And so a lot of the other sort of, exercises and things that I'm adding in are really focused just on feeling strong, but also preparing myself for other activities that I'm going to be doing. So skiing, trail running, climbing, mountain biking, all of those things I'm keeping in mind as I'm going to the gym. So I'm trying to be really intentional. My stats for today: sleep score 96. Super stoked on that. Sleep score is always something that I'm thinking about. So love to see that in the 90s. HRV is balanced and trending upward, which is fantastic. Body battery 35. That's at about 7:30 p.m. Training status has been unproductive for 4 weeks now. I think this is ultimately a result of being injured for 6 months. And now just getting back to running. Garmin has to sort of readjust to where I'm at. It thinks I'm losing fitness, but in reality, it just wasn't keeping up with what was going on with my body. And that is sort of representative of what is going on with the load focus as well. You can see I've just been doing a bunch of super low aerobic activity. So yeah, going to try to get in some sprints, but we'll see how that goes. Low stress day, VO2 max trending downwards. And I've still got a lot to eat today, so I'm going to go eat dinner.